Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Here is part 2 of putting the back on the baby Milestone blanket. So if you watched part 1, this is the next step. I've done sewing the sides up. And what we're going to have to do is a little bit of figuring. There's no exact formula to this. Because once you have your sides sewed up, if you guys remember, we made the back wider so that it would fold over and be an edge around the front.
Yeah, that's like so crooked. Here is my ruler.
But as I just said, sometimes it can come out crooked, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to fix that, which is not a problem. What was crooked was the bottom, and I'm sure that the top didn't line up evenly either, which is one of the things about working with fleece, which is why you try to always have a little extra on hand. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my clear acrylic quilting ruler up against the edge, the sewed edge of the fabric, and I'm using that as sort of like a square, you know, so that we can line up and get a straight bottom. But I'll show you here. I'm going to walk you through it as I adjust it here in a second. So just stay tuned and you'll hear what I'm saying.
Okay. So now that you're aware of what's happening here. Okay, so now you see, well, you know what? I'll start far away. So the blanket's laid out flat and it's even and it's how it's supposed to be here and that and that and that and that. Okay, it still looks really crooked. So hold on, let me get the straight edge on this corner and see what it looks like. I'm not trying to make this like the world's smallest blanket by doing this perpetual ending of... But I think at this point we should go with the factory, don't you? I do. So the factory is 3 inches above the factory.
So basically what I'm saying is the pink fabric, the bottom of the blanket is the side of the pink fabric where the factory edge was. And what I'm doing is I'm using the factory edge to measure 3 inches above, to basically get 3 inches worth of pink. The reason I'm doing this is because the highest point of the white fleece was 3 inches. So I need to make it all 3 inches. It was just not uniform. So what I've done is I've decided to measure off the factory edge of the blanket up 3 inches and then create a new dashed line and to trim it down. So the next thing we want to do is we want to evenly place a pin on the white fleece and the pink fleece in the same points on the length of the blanket. So then what we want to do is we want to turn it inside out so we can match where the edges need to be pinned. Because it's that extra 3 inches of fabric, it could mess us up if we just pin it. And we can't really pin it right sides together the wrong way. You'll see. So what I'm going to do is set a pin at 5-inch intervals is what I picked, and then turn it right side out. I mean inside out.
Alrighty, Rudy. Let's roll the sides. Make the sides even. Okay, see the sides are not even. There we go. So we'll take the 2 pins, we'll line them up, pull one out, take one, and pin it through both. Do the same thing in the center. Put the 2 pins together. Put the 2 pins together. We'll pull one out. We'll take the other one and we'll pin it through both. And we'll match the last one. Pull one pin out. Take the first pin and pin it through both. And now with that laid out, we can see where we need to pin. Now I lay the blanket out so it's nice and bulk free. So now we know where we need to pin the rest of the way, okay? Can you see, can you actually see, hold on. Can you see how the fabric wants to tell you now where to go? So it automatically created this crease. And like I said, we're gonna work on the corners when we're all done. We'll figure out what kind of corners we wanna do. But you see, if once we pin those 3, it's wanting to do this like it did on the ends, okay? We do want to leave some space on the ends so that we can figure out the corners. I think what's gonna end up happening though is we're gonna end up making these kinds of corners. So I'll show you after we sew it. They're actually quite cute and quite simple. They just look crazy and impossible at this point. But let's go ahead and get this on the machine, okay?
So I hope you guys all understood what I was doing. Because we're trying to match edges that don't line up evenly. The edge of the white and the edge of the pink are 3 inches away from each other. What I did was I took my ruler and I measured in 5-inch intervals. As long as I measured on the white and the pink, and I pinned in the same spot on both, so that when I flipped it through, I was able to match where the pins were located and to know that I have the basically it placed correctly from the left and right sides. I just hope that made any sense to you. I was watching it and I was like, I didn't really take a up close shot of it, so you just have to go by what I was saying. So hopefully that helps. And then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side, so you won't be able to see it though, because it'll be much faster. So I wanted to make sure we had it straight from now. Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna sew the triangle off, and I'll show you what that looks like on the other side. But what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and sew all the way to the end of the white, and I'm gonna do that on both corners because now I know exactly what I want to do and how it's gonna lay. Okay. It's always better to do less and go back and do more than it is to do more in the beginning and then having to repair your mistake. That's just like, nobody wants to do that, really. That's a lot of extra work. This seems like a lot of work, but if you go and make more mistakes, my dad used to say, you never have time to do it right the first time, but you always have time to do it again. Which is basically a way of saying, if you do it right the first time, you don't have to do it again. So now I'm going to sew all the way to the white, to the end of the white, where I actually meet the other row. And I want to make sure all of this extra bulk is out of the way. Okay, all this extra bulk in the corner. I want to make sure it's out of the way. I think I'm going to throw a pin in there to keep it out of the way, because right now it's giving me a hard time. Okay, so now take this to the machine. Finish up this to the beginning. Okay. Go slow. There's no rush. I'm not getting paid to do it fast. This isn't piecework. You know, some countries have, you get paid by the piece, not by the hour. This isn't that. Okay. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm supposed to go on a 90-degree angle. If my memory serves me correct, it's been such a long time since I did it. Okay. If my memory serves, and I'm going to practice it with you guys. So you fold your your project in a triangle. Basically, you're going to fold the so it comes to the corner that you're working on. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you take a 90-degree angle from your stitches, which I've got a lot of bulk here, so hold on one second. Oh, did I mess this up? No, I just way I'm folding it. Okay. Okay, so if my memory serves me correct, I'm supposed to sew 90 degrees through this fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin it and then take it to the sewing machine and wish me luck. Because like I said, it's been a really long time since I did this. Probably 20 years. 25, I want to say, maybe 25 years. So wish me luck. This still may not be right, but bear with me, guys, okay? We're learning as we go. Now, I'm not going to back through that, because if I have to take it out, I don't want to have to go through all that trouble. All right, let's see. Let's turn this corner and see what kind of business we got going on here. If I have an experienced sewer watching this and you're like, yes, she figured it out. That's it. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Thank you. Yep, so that's it. That's what I'm supposed to do. Well, it actually looks like I could probably come in more. So hold on, let me see. Because it's not really, well, is it not laying flat because of the bulk? It might not be laying flat because of the bulk. But it actually looks like that's right. Hold on, let me see. Let me get my hand up in there. It could just be because of the bulk. Hold on. Let's see. Yep, that's exactly why. So we're going to cut the extra off. And I would go back and tighten this, but since I'm going to put an over, I'm going to sew over later, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to give myself a good 1/2 inch seam allowance. And then I'm going to cut the very corner off, like if I was turning like the corner on something. So hold on, let's see. Now that I have that done, let's take another peek. Let's see about the bulk. Oh yeah, and then you go ahead and you cut all your thing off, and this is what happens. Am I in the wrong corner? What is happening? Did you see I just had a heart attack? So that's it. So this is how you're supposed to end up this corner. Okay, so that was right. It was a 90-degree angle. All right. So now I'm going to go repair my heart attack and fix the other corner. Oh my goodness. I thought I did this and I thought I cut the corner off, but it was the wrong corner, so. Hey.
And if any of you are watching this tutorial for like a pattern, quote unquote, you're not going to get one. Mostly these tutorials are just about tips and techniques, about different ways to figure out, different ways to plan, outside of the box thinking when it comes to sewing. There are plenty of books and videos on how-tos and patterns that you can follow. When we made the wedding outfits for everybody, we used patterns, so it's not like we're anti-pattern. But when it comes to something like this, it's sort of creative and you can think outside of the box with how you're planning. Plus, I got that white fleece was a pre-cut remnant, so I kind of was trying to work with it to the best of my abilities too. So, kind of adapt as you go with the flow, and just remember, what do we say? Not perfect, but perfectly handmade.
All right. So that's it, folks. Look. Oh. So here is how it looks with the edge. And here is how the corners look. Can you see that? They lay nice and flat, and they're mitered. I couldn't think of the word mitered, and I apologize. But they lay nice and flat, and it's going to be so soft and silky for the BB. So now I'm going to move you out of the way again. I'm going to move the sewing machine. I'm going to work on the other side. The other side is the exact same, except we don't sew straight across the whole way. We sew from the middle to the end, and the middle to the end we have to keep about this bulky fabric, not that much, maybe 5 inches at the most open, that we have to hand stitch at the end because we have to turn the blanket inside out. So I'm not going to show you that. No, I'm probably going to put you on high speed, so it'll look like I'm going really fast, but see you later. So I didn't realize I was talking to you the whole time and I was on time lapse, which makes it looks like fast forward. The only thing that I did was before I pinned the other side, I wanted to make sure I measured it properly. So I laid it flat. I pinned a couple of places in the middle so that the materials wouldn't move. And then I did the same thing I did on the other side, where I made sure that I had the white fabric at a straight line, and then the only difference was the other side I measured from the pink to the white 3 inches. This time I had to measure from the white to the pink 3 inches, and then I cut off the excess. Which is why when we trimmed the big bulk of extra fabric off, we left a good piece of fabric left over. In fact, this is past 3 inches what I had was, so I maybe did 4 or 5 in some areas. All right, so then I went ahead and I pinned the whole way, since I know now how I want to do the corners. I pinned the whole way, and now I'm going to sew, but make sure you remember, you're going to sew, you're going to sew. You're going to sew and leave 4 or 5 inches open in the middle. And make sure you use locking stitches on both sides so you don't unravel all of your work. And then we can hand stitch. Now, if we're going to top stitch later, sometimes you don't have to hand stitch if you're going to top stitch, because the top stitch will catch the bulk of it. And you don't have to hand stitch. You can use the sewing machine, but then you'll see it. And I'm sure that you've bought some pillows in the past or blankets in the past where you can see the top stitches if you look real close, but not anything from far away. So let's get at it.
So don't forget to join us for part 3. This is the final part of putting the back on this blanket. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And as always, take care. God bless. See you next time. Bye.